Okay, and one afternoon there was a bank robbery on Wolf and Slant Street. So we get over there, and so they're like, they give us a detailed description, and so the last scene headed on Slant Street. So we get over there, and we got to do obviously a canvas search, and so 3 doors away there was a strip club. So naturally, it's going to be the first place you're going to go check. And so we get in there, it's fully nude, and so there's three girls, there's three girls, a bartender, and then one that's walking around getting her tips, and then the one that's up there dancing. So the one that's walking around with her tips there, she comes over to me and she puts her arm around me and she's rubbing her knee up against my groin area. And so she goes, "Do you like geckos?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I do." And this is before the William and Tara gecko stories. And so what ended up happening was I'm like, "Yeah, I like geckos." And she goes, "I have geckos." And I go, "Oh, you do?" She goes, "I have many more exotic animals." She goes, would you like to see them?" Okay. So as the story goes, we wound up starting to leave. And so my partner says to me, "You know what?" And I'm like, "What?" I go, "I don't know what the fuck a gecko is." And he goes, "Look at your shirt, you retard." And so I looked down and I had geckos written on my pocket of my shirt. And so I'm like, "What the hell?" I just bought a shirt from Chapel's store and it had a gecko pocket, it had a gecko dinosaur on the back, actual whole one. So that's how that gecko story ends. So the next day, um, she had like apartment motorhome type of deal, and so I get there, and as I got in the parking lot, I see that she's bent over washing her car, and she might as well not had shorts on because they were halfway up her ass, and so I show up, and she comes over to me, hugging, kissing me, and so she goes, "Come on, I want to show you my animals." So we get in there, and so there's like 10 aquariums and they're all over the apartment. And I'm looking at them I'm like, "The hell?" I go, "You got a zoo here?" She goes, "No." She goes, "I have." So the first thing I do, I see an aquarium filled with all kinds of spiders. And I'm like, "Why you keep?" She goes, "I just like them." I'm like, "Okay." So then we go to the next one, and there's all kinds of rats and mice in there. I said, "Why the hell would you keep those?" And she goes, "They're food for my animals." So I go, "What animals eat rice and mice and rats?" So she brings me over and she goes, "He does." And I'm like, "Why do you have a snake like that?" She goes, "Oh," she goes, "That's my pet." Oh, God, let me think.
Cobra?
Python.
No, it was a python. It was all wrapped up. Very good. It was all wrapped up in like a bow tie. And so I said, she goes, I put the rat and mice in there. I said, she said, "It's food for him." And so he ingests them whole and so on. So I said to her, I said, all that being said, I said, "Do you sleep with one eye open?" And she's like, "No." And I noticed she had two 100-pound weight, I
Dumbbells?
want to say dumbbells. No, it's not dumbbell.
Kettlebells.
No, it's the actual discs. They go on to the
Like a
bench.
bench press.
Yeah, bench press weight. Okay. All right. So she had bench press weights, and she said no. She says he's all right. He don't bother nobody. So now she goes, and let me show you this, and I go over and she's got a aquarium with geckos, and so she goes, "There's my pet gecko, my pet geckos," and so I'm like, I I gotta get the fuck out of here because I don't know what the hell's gonna happen. I don't want a python growing up, crawling up my ass and so on. So I leave out of there, and so the next day, the day after, I wound up getting phone calls at PD that she wanted to talk to me, and the other guys are like, "Aren't you gonna go there?" I'm like, "No, would you like her?" "No, I don't want him either." So nobody embarked upon that crusade, and the stripper story went by the wayside.
So nobody wanted to go over there?
No.
That's funny.
And she was pretty hot.
What happened in the bank robbery?
The stripper thing was a distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
She had no
I couldn't-
information.
I couldn't tell you what happened with the bank robbery. The rest of it was so prevalent.